Okay, we're live. We are live. What's going on, guys? Hopefully you're all doing well. Just a little conversation, a little discussion about the weekend's fights coming up. Actually, a pretty good weekend of fights, to be fair. Some good fights to watch. Kelly versus Avanesian's my pick, but looking forward to Oscar Valdez versus Miguel Berchelt, and even Otto Wallin versus Dominic Breazeale. Kind of intrigued to see how Wallin looks in that fight. So yeah, all in all, it's a pretty good weekend of fights, to be fair. Pretty good weekend. Looking forward to it, man. Looking forward to it. And big up to G-Man Boxing in the chat as well, man. Hopefully you're keeping well, G-Man. Hopefully you're keeping well. Do you know what? I'll be so fucking glad when this winter's over, to be honest. Sick to the back teeth of it now. Been fucking horrible recently. So fucking horrible. So, yeah, I kind of want the summer now, the summer and spring. Big up to AA Boxing and Blunts. Anybody going to be paying for the Top Rank or PBC card? No, I won't, bro. I'm not going to. I've got to get up early the next day, so I'm not going to watch those live. I'll find a copy on YouTube or, Daily Motion, whatever. But yeah, I'm looking forward to some of those fights. Berchelt versus Valdez, that's going to be a war. I think Berchelt's going to be too big, too strong, like Kolfroch was for Gennady Golovkin, but it's going to be a fun fight while it lasts, put it that way. Valdez will try and fight him off. He'll land some good snappy punches here and there, but Berchelt has the size, the aggression, the punch volume. I think he'll wear down Oscar Valdez, and Valdez will put up like a valiant effort, but ultimately it won't be enough. And, the PBC card, Broner versus Santiago, not really interested in that, to be honest. And you've got Otto Wallin, Dominic Breazeale, which I do like. I do like that fight. It's a good test for Otto Wallin to see where he's at. Because apart from that Tyson Fury loss, we don't really know too much about him. What's his level? Did he just overperform that night? Maybe. Who knows? Or maybe he's a half-decent contender. I think Dominic Breazeale can find that out. Because, yeah, Dominic Breazeale's limited. He's limited as hell, don't get me wrong. But he is a tough guy. He can punch a bit. He'll keep coming forward. He'll try and drag you into a fight. If you're not good enough, Dominic Breazeale is one of those guys who can expose you, as he did against Izu Agono, the Nigerian prospect out of Poland. He's that sort of fighter. So I think it's a good fight for Otto Wallin at this stage. I really do. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, G-Man. Late stoppage for Berchelt, sort of last 3-4 rounds. That's what I'd be looking at as well. Just based on accumulation kind of thing. Valdez is very tough. He's got a lot of heart, but I think he's going to take a lot of punishment in that fight. I really do. Ultimately, Valdez, he needs to knock out Berchelt. I don't believe he can win that fight on points. I don't believe he can outbox Berchelt. He needs to land that perfect shot to win that fight. Whereas Berchelt can win it on points, in my opinion, via work rate, and he can stop Valdez. But yes, it's a decent fight. It's a decent fight. It's not too bad at all. Yeah, actually, AA Boxing and Blunts. Yeah, that fight's getting a bit of attention. Yeah. And yeah, Sporting Advantage. She says Maru versus Charlton has me amped. Yeah, it's a good fight, bro. Both guys are quite aggressive. Both guys hit relatively hard. And, it's kind of one of those fights where both guys are really unproven. So who knows what's going to happen. I've not even made a prediction video for that fight. I think Charlton is the better boxer, naturally, more talented. But to me, Maru is the bigger, stronger man. Ryland Charlton is basically a light welterweight, whereas Maru is a welterweight. So it's size and strength versus a bit more skill. So what comes out on top, who knows? Who knows? But I'm looking forward to it. That should be a war. That should be a war. I will say this. If Charlton can't hurt Maru, I definitely think he loses that fight. I think Maru will just walk him down and kind of, bully him a bit based on the size and strength. But yeah, it's a good fight. It's a good fight. He definitely is, G-Man. Yeah, you can see his punches coming, a mile away. It's like he threw some of those punches last week, which he's trying to throw at Otto Wallin. But yeah, you're right, man. He's very slow, very slow. AA Boxing and AA Boxing and Blunts. I've got to big up the British Boxing Board of Control for ordering some good trade fights with the end of March deadlines. Yeah, indeed. I love the fight between Denzel Bentley and Felix Cash. Frank Warren won the purse bids. Now, is that fight going to take place? I'm not sure, quite frankly. Maybe it's looking like Felix Cash might go for the European title, but I would love to see Felix Cash versus Denzel Bentley. I think Denzel Bentley beats him, to be honest with you. I really do. Yes, big up Jim McDonald Boxing. Hopefully you're doing well, Jim. Hopefully you're doing well. Exactly, G-Man. That's what I'm saying, bro. I totally agree. People saying Maru is stepping up. Charlton fought Joe Laws like beating him is like winning the egg and spoon race. Exactly, bro. Like Joe Laws was basically a mouthy ticket seller anyway. You know, he wasn't any good. Let's be honest about it. And that's all he's really done. So you can't really read too much into that, in my opinion. I think it's a real good even matchup. A good fight for a sort of regular fight night card. I like it, and it's a real good main event. I have to say, I actually really like that card. And listen, Matchroom's card last week, take away the controversy with Kiko Martinez. I really enjoyed that card. I thought it was very good value for money. Really enjoyed it. And this card this week, great main event. Maru Charlton, interesting fight. Even Jordan Gill versus Cesar Juarez is a good fight, because listen, man, if Juarez is anything what he was, he's going to give Jordan Gill hell. But from what I've seen from Juarez, the last couple of fights, he's looking like he's on the slide. This was a guy who gave Donaire some problems a few years ago. Juarez can fight a bit, but it's really what he's got left. If he can have one more good night, Jordan Gill is in trouble. Trust me, he's in trouble. We saw how Jordan Gill dealt with that last Mexican he fought. Was it Tinoco? He got beat up. So, listen, that's an interesting fight as well. I like it. It's a good fight. Yeah, I was watching it, Jim. I saw you in the chat, but I kind of stopped watching it. I might watch the main event, though. I might watch the main event. G-Man Boxing, Felix Cash, I've seen every fight since he turned pro. I've never seen anything other than a run-of-the-mill fighter. Am I missing something? I totally agree, G-Man. I'd call him like a domestic level operator. That's how I see Felix Cash. And I think Denzel's got more versatility in his game. He can bang, he can fight, he can box a bit, he can be awkward. I think Denzel's a more versatile fighter in comparison to Felix Cash. Big up to Art of Nine Limbs. He says Gwyn versus McComb. Yeah, that's the one. That's the main event. Yeah, I'll probably watch that. Bro. Joe Laws is a poor man's Dave Allen. Yeah, but not likable. He's like an unlikable, skinnier version of Dave Allen. I'm not a big fan of Dave Allen, but I can see why people actually like him. Whereas Joe Laws is a complete gobshite, as we say in the UK. Complete gobshite. Big up to Nosy Boy every single time. Hopefully you're doing well, bro. Hopefully you're keeping well, man. Yeah, I like the fight, bro. I like the fight. See, I think Wallin's going to win on points, but I can see him having some hard moments. If Brazil is in there with ambition, he's going to keep on coming forwards, man. You know, he's a tough old boy, Dominic Brazil. He can fight a bit in terms of like, you know, just letting it all hang out. He can fight in that sense. Not a great boxer, but he's strong. He can hit relatively hard. He's durable. He's only been knocked out by Joshua and Wilder. He beat Amir Mansour. He knocked out Izzy Agono, who was highly thought of. He can fight a little bit. And if you're not good enough, he can expose you. That's why I like that fight. Because we're going to find out a bit more about Wallin, basically. I don't mind it. I don't mind it at all. Exactly. What's better than seeing two mid-level heavyweights fighting can really make for some good fights sometimes. It really can. Can you watch the PBC in the UK? I believe like these cards are on some fucking website basically where you have to pay. So if you plan on staying up, find a live stream, watch it for free, bro. Because yeah, I think you got to pay for it. Why don't I like have that Florian dude moving? I hope Charlton humbles him. Yo, fucking Ryland Charlton reminds me of like a white David Haye who had a kid with Adam Booth. Something about the guy's looks and his mannerisms. He kind of looks like David Haye, but his mannerisms are like fucking Adam Booth. It's weird as hell, man. But yeah, he's a character, isn't he? Ryland Charlton. I quite like him. I quite like him. G-Man says Joe Laws and Dave Allen on the same card. Laws against Maru and Allen against Babic. Yeah, I'll be rooting for Maru and Babic in those fights. Big up to Levi Khan every single time, bro. Big up to Levi straight out of NYC. Big up to you, man. Yeah, PBC card is £10 to watch. Top Rank card is £10 as well. If I had to pay for either one of those, I'd pay for Top Rank. But neither one of those fights is worth £10 in my opinion. I like the Valdez versus Berchelt fight, but I'm not paying for it, bro. I'm not paying for it. That's it. Yeah, Premier Sports have they've shown a few PBC cards, but not many. And yeah, Top Ranker with Fight TV. I think you can actually subscribe to Top Rank cards, so you can get all of their cards on Fight TV. It's quite cheap, excluding the pay-per-views, I believe. So yeah, check out Fight TV. Watching this whilst on the toilet. Pick up the Patrick Curtis, man. That's my happy place, bro. On the toilet. Yeah, exactly, bro. It's kind of a cornrows. And yeah, and just like his mannerisms just remind me of that Hey Booth connections. Think about how he kind of carries himself kind of thing. Do you know what I mean? But he's a character. I quite like Ryland Charlton. I actually like Florian Marku. I think he's quite entertaining for what he is. I think he's quite entertaining. Broner couldn't make 140, so they made it 147 at the last minute. And his his opponent is a full-time janitor, part-time boxer. So it should be a great fight. Yeah, listen, man, Broner's got to take care of that dude in impressive fashion. From what Levi was saying in my last stream, this janitor guy struggled with a shot DeMarcus Corley. I think it was Levi who said that. So listen, if Broner struggles with this guy, then he's basically done, man. He's done already, yeah, but that'll be an all-time low for Broner. Yeah, remember when Sky used to show international fights other than DAZN? Yeah, I do, yeah, G-Man, yeah. They've really kind of knocked that on the head, though. It's unfortunate. We've got to go fucking searching for these cards on dodgy websites, man. It's crazy. I like Kelly on points, Nosy Boy. I like Kelly on points. Competitive, maybe even controversial, but I've got Kelly on points. I think that's the safe bet. Oh, Ian Ward, good question. What are your thoughts on Callum Johnson going to Frank Warren, and what's next for him? First and foremost, I think it's a good move for Callum Johnson. He's 35 years old. Eddie Hearn doesn't seem to have the dates for him. Seems to be a bit of a falling out there. And, you know, Frank needs bodies, and I'm sure he's going to get him active. And there are a couple of good fights for him there, which would attract interest. Obviously, Anthony Yard, but mainly Lyndon Arthur. I think if you had Callum Johnson versus Lyndon Arthur, that'd be a great fight. I'd love to see that fight. You know, maybe Callum Johnson goes for the European title against Igor McAlkin. That's another good fight for him. Listen, I just want to see him stay active. But yeah, ultimately, I think it's a good move for Callum Johnson. I do. Zakaria Shawa versus Juan Jose Velasquez tomorrow on the Broner undercard should be easy work for Zach. Yeah. I've seen that Velasquez guy fight before, but I'm not sure where. Apologies also watching it on the toilet. Oh, Kelly Avanesian, BG. I'd say Kelly Avanesian 1. Berchelt Valdez 2. Maru Charlton 3rd fight. And probably then Wallin versus Brazil. But there's some good fights this weekend. Like I was saying earlier, even Jordan Gill versus Cesar Juarez is a good fight. I think it's a good fight, bro. So Broner made weight. It was the other guy that didn't make the weight. Interesting. I'll have to look into it, bro. I'll have to look into it. Big up the toilet gang. Yeah, the toilet massive. By the way, lads, if you could smash the like as well, be much appreciated. Much appreciated. See, I used to hate asking for likes, but now I fucking do it in every single video at the start. I kind of swallowed my pride. Yeah, all Broner's Cincinnati buddies are on his undercard. Rashid Warren versus Sharon Carter. Who the fuck is Sharon Carter? And Bunny Easter versus Ryan Martin. Yeah, that's a good fight, actually. That's evenly matched. I would actually take Robert Easter in that one, to be honest, Levi. I would take Robert Easter. Yeah, Rashid Warren he's got ability. He's got, I think he turned pro too late, though, Levi. He was hanging around in the World Series of Boxing for a long time. Like that semi-pro, semi-amateur style of fighting. I think he turned pro too late, to be honest. Exactly, G-Man. Yeah. So long, he stays on the right side of Frank. I think it'll be a good move. I do. Avanesian on points, but not to win. If you get my drift, yeah, I see you. I hear you, bro. That's definitely a possibility. Unfortunately, Showtime doing their conkers, as Eddie Hearn might say. No way they're making money in this Broner card. Plus, going up against Valdez Berchelt. Exactly, bro. Like, what are you going to watch? If you got both providers, you're going to watch Valdez versus Berchelt. Makes much more sense. Much better fight. Should be more competitive. Should be more fun. Do you know what I mean? So, big up to John Gonzalez, man, every single time. My favorite Texan. Big up to John. I have to go out there sometime, man. Once we get back to normal and I get a few more quid in the bank, we might have to go to Texas, bro. If I was to go anywhere in America, it's Texas, bro. Every single fucking time. Every single time. Be amazing. It'll happen one day, bro. It'll happen one day. Just not anytime fucking soon. Nosy boy Easter's tall, but he's been way too inactive. True say with Martin not been super busy, only one fight since Taylor lost. Exactly, yeah. It's a competitive fight where both guys are at. Basically, it's a loser leaves town type fight because the loser of that fight is basically resigned to being like a journeyman / gatekeeper. That's an important fight for both guys. BG London, I would say no. Certainly European level because of that European title, and at best fringe world level because I think you can make the case for Avanesian is fringe world level, but not full world level. No, I disagree with Adam in that one. To be honest, I disagree, but definitely it'll be a good win. Yes, mate. The women out there, man, always seem to catch my eye. G-Man Boxing. I don't think the British Boxing Board of Control can get away with 2 dodgy scorecards 2 weeks apart. We say that, G-Man. We say that, but you never know. You never know. Yeah, I see that, Levi. Zan Kazabutsky, yeah, he's a heavyweight prospect from it's like either I think it's Azerbaijan or Uzbekistan, one of the two, or even Kazakhstan, one of those countries. Yeah, he's fighting a Nigerian fighter. I saw that. It's in Germany, isn't it? Yeah. I saw that. 3 or 4 rounds, bro. Canelo takes care of him. El Campeon, he says, do you see that Fanon is working for MTK? What a hypocrite. That's hilarious if he is, bro. It's hilarious if he is. Florida is the only state I'd visit. They're still in 2019. Yeah, they're still going along as normal, Florida, to be fair to them. See, I wouldn't mind going to Miami or somewhere like that. I'd like to go there, but I'd probably only want to go there for a couple of weeks or so. I could live in Texas. I know I could. Kazakhstan, yeah, George, yeah. Kazakhstan, that's it. I knew it was one of those countries. I've done a video on the guy as well, so I should know. But my memory's like a sieve these days. My memory's terrible. So my prediction on Berchelt Valdez is Berchelt late stoppage. I think the accumulation, the size of Berchelt is going to be too much. Valdez will give, Valdez is going to show signs of defiance. He'll have his moments, but ultimately, I see him getting overpowered. To be honest, Packer, I see him getting overpowered. Big up to Intangible Boxing News. Hopefully you're doing well, bro. Hopefully you're doing well. Yeah, yeah, we was talking about that one earlier, Levi. I thought that's a good. I think that's a good fight. Jordan Gill versus Cesar Juarez. Juarez is definitely past his best at this stage, but still a good test. Definitely a good test. We're taking L's to the Mexicans like crazy right now. So listen, Juarez might win that fight. Shit. I'll take your word for it, John. I'll take your word for it. I'll have to go on a road trip throughout America. I'd fucking love to do that. Love to do that. See, I'm a weirdo, yeah. Like when people say, "Oh, I want to go to America," they want to see New York and shit like that. I don't want to see New York. I've been to New York already. I've been to fucking London. That's basically what it is. I want to go places like fucking Arizona, fucking Texas, Nevada. I'd love to fucking buy a fucking big ranch in the desert. Love it. I'd fucking love it. When I become a millionaire, that's what I'll do. I'm gonna live in the fucking desert. Fucking hell. Yeah, good luck to him, but he's gonna get fucked up, bro. He is gonna get fucked up. Banter Swag, he says, since Japan has some brilliant boxing talent, such as Inoue, what trait do Japanese fighters have which is unique? Do you know what? I've never seen a Japanese fighter swallow it in the ring. What I mean by that is quit and basically give up. These guys, pound for pound, have the most heart in boxing. Japanese fighters. Teak tough, usually have a real good chin. Even the ones who don't have a good chin, they've still got bundles of fucking heart. They just don't quit. They don't quit, man. It's crazy. That samurai mentality. It must be that. It must be that. But because these guys have no quit in them whatsoever. Yeah, I see he's coming back, Levi. I think he's left it too late, though. He's like mid-30s now. Must be 35, 36. Kanat Islam, yeah. He's getting old now. John, bro, you might kill me. You'll get me fucking implicated in some murders or something, bro. But yeah, man, I'd love to come out there, man. Love it. Oh, mate, Craig Richards versus Dimitri Bivol. Craig Richards gets fucked up. If he gets that fight, fair play. It's a good little payday, but he's got no chance whatsoever in that fight. He'll get schooled and stopped. I think Bivol will definitely stop him, actually. I've heard of him, Levi. Never seen him, though. Lorenzo Truck Simpson. Never heard of him. No, I've heard of him, but never seen him. That's what I meant to say. Fuck's sake. Oh, I'm gonna say Beterbiev, AJ. I'm a Beterbiev fan, so I've got Beterbiev. If everything is equal, like no rehydration clause, I genuinely think Beterbiev wins that fight. Just too big and too strong, really, for Canelo. I think that will be his limit. That'll be his limit. Sorry, Beterbiev, just too big and too strong. Big up to official every single time. Hopefully you're doing well, bro. Nah, he just got knocked the fuck out, Levi, man. I don't think he bottled it. He just got knocked the fuck out. He got fucked up. Yeah, Fujimoto was the guy. But yeah, he didn't bottle it, man. He just got knocked the fuck out. Yeah, man. I want to go into that Texas sun. You know what I mean? But I've always had this thing, yeah, I just love to live in the desert. It sounds weird, doesn't it? But I'd love to. Went to Texas, Utah, New Mexico on a field trip. Stoned guy welcomed us to Utah saying, welcome to motherfucking Jesus Christ. Big up to Adam UK every single time, man. Big up to Adam. Falcao versus Arthur Akavov tomorrow on ESPN is laughable. What rock did Akavov crawl out of to take this fight? Yeah, I don't know what they're doing with Falcao, Levi, to be honest. I don't know what they're doing with him. I'm not really all that impressed, to be honest. He'll get beat soon. There's two of them, though, isn't there? One of them got beat recently to, I forgot who beat him. I think it was Christopher Pearson, maybe. But yeah, there's two of those Falcao brothers. Exactly, bro. Get the likes up for the dweebs down at YouTube HQ. Exactly, man. That's what they like, man. Those fucking, they want to see those likes. Fucking the dweebs down at YouTube. Yeah, Sonny Conto, sorry, yeah. Heavyweight prospect. I've not really seen too much of him, to be honest. Levi, Sonny Conto. I've seen a couple of bits from him, but not really too much. So I'll need to check him out. Nosy boy, Del boy, what the fuck happened with Warrington though? Even on his worst night, that Lara guy was so slow he could have been in reverse. How did he get caught? Guy was so slow. Yeah, listen, man, I think Josh Warrington probably approached that fight with a mindset that this was just a tune-up and this guy fucking sucked. And as soon as he felt that power, he realized he was in trouble. He did not mentally prepare himself for a fight. And when he felt that punching power, I think that messed him up. I really do. Like, he didn't look right from the first round. I think he felt something real hard on his gloves, his shoulders, which made him second guess himself. Then he started to get caught. Then he got dropped. And that was basically it. That was basically it, man. And he took a beating in that fight, bro. He took an absolute shellacking in that fight. Dropped twice. Well, dropped twice. Knocked out. Hard shots to body and head. He took a beating in that fight. That's going to take a lot to come back from. It's not like he got beat by like a well-known world champion. He got beat down by an unknown. Not only physically, but mentally, that's hard to come back from. Like, you can write off a loss to Gary Russell Jr., one of the best in the division, maybe the best in the division. You can write it off in your mind, but getting beat by this guy in the manner you did, that's got to fuck with you. You know, it's got to fuck with you. So, be interesting to see what he does next and how he comes back. Like BG says, Warrington seems to want that work again. So, is that the right idea? I'm not sure, but if he wants it, he should get it. Simple as that. And if he were to win, it's a good look. If he gets knocked out again, who knows, man? Who knows? Yeah, he was hooking with a hooker, basically, wasn't he, Adam? You know, just trading with a bigger guy with more power. Warrington should have really been trying to get in and out after he felt that power. Should have been a lot more conservative because Warrington had the hand speed advantage, you know. He should have tried to get in and out and played it safe, but that's not Warrington's style, and he got caught out. He really did. Do you know what? I think he'll beat if Inoue moves to super bantamweight. How easily does he beat Luis Neri? I think he'll deal with Luis Neri. Neri's a big dude, and he's a good fighter, but to me, ever since he got caught with those PEDs, he's never looked the same. He's looked flat in a couple of fights. He got dropped as well after that. He doesn't look like the same fighter. I would take Inoue to beat Luis Neri, in all honesty. I think he'll beat him. Exactly, yeah, Levi, exactly. You knew he was going to get beat. It's just who he got beat to. Yeah, it's mad. Why don't boxers fight roughly at their walking about weight, fight at that division? Yeah, it's unusual when fighters do that. Mayweather allegedly did that. Carl Froch as well, kind of fought in and around his walking around weight. But it's all basically to get an advantage, boil down and then blow back up to try and get a size and strength advantage. Because some guys are better at cutting weight than others, you know, just naturally, whether it be, you know, even without PEDs, some people can just cut weight more easily than others. And the guys who are more adept at that, they're going to have an advantage, especially when you put PEDs into the equation. So, yeah, it's just really to get an advantage over the opponent, all this weight cutting and, you know, going down, boiling down. But, yeah, exactly, bro. You've got to be careful with those hookers. Double entendre, indeed, 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 indeed. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. See, we don't mess with hookers, man. We just mess with society's rejects, as Ty and Booth would say. Though you would say hookers are society's rejects, so I don't mess with hookers. Good fight, bro. That's a good fight, if that happens. I would take Prograis, but very hard fight. Very hard fight to call. Yeah, big up to Marcy D, man. I'm good, bro. I'm very good. Just enjoying my Friday night. Chilling. Yeah, man, I'm good. Looking forward to the boxing. Looking forward to the fights this weekend. There's a few good fights, man, so I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to it, man. Seeing odds such as -3,000 for Boo Boo versus Liam Williams. Listen, Boo Boo's going to slap Liam Williams from pillar to post, but those odds are still far too short for me. Yo, it could happen, Levi, man. Povetkin could easily time Dillian again. He's got the power. He's got the timing. He's got the accuracy. We've seen it once. It's just whether he holds together again on fight night. Because to me, Povetkin in that fight, beautiful knockout, beautiful setup, brilliant. But apart from that, he looked like a fighter who was well past his best. His legs looked weaker. His chin looked weaker. You know, he looked as bad as I've ever seen him, in all honesty. And he still knocked out Dillian White. So it's possible to happen again. But I find that fight really hard to call, to be honest, that rematch. Because I'm sure Povetkin's well past his best now. I've seen it, so it's hard to call, man. It's hard to call. Was watching Michael Brodie versus Injin Chi 1 today. That was an underrated war on British soil that nobody talks about. Yeah, Injin Chi was a fucking fun fighter, as was Michael Brodie. Yeah. I've not seen that fight in donkeys, cop end. Absolute donkeys. Most unfit boxer in recent years. Staverne's definitely a good shout against Joyce. There was some big fat bastard that I think it was Fabio Wardley fought. He was like 350 pounds or pretty much. I think it was Christian Lewandowski. Somebody like that. And he was a big fat bastard. How that guy got a boxing license, I'll never know. Because that guy looked like he was about to keel over getting in the ring, let alone throwing some punches. Do you know what I mean? So, yeah, there's been some bad ones. Yeah, White needs to be a lot more careful this time. I wouldn't be surprised to see him try and box this one behind that jab. I wouldn't be surprised. But I still think White can have success in pushing Povetkin back. Really putting the pressure on, working that body, dig into him, you know, trying to make him feel like the old man he is. I think White can have success if he pushes Povetkin back. Povetkin, when he's on the back foot, is not as explosive and not as dangerous. If Dillian can get this guy on the back foot, he can have success. It's when Dillian stands off Povetkin, gives him time and space to explode. That's when he's going to be in trouble. And that's what I worry about if he tries to box this fight, because Dillian, he does have a nice jab and he can move a little bit, but can he do it for 12 rounds against Povetkin? I don't think he's got the discipline to do it. And technically, he makes a lot of mistakes. And I think he'll leave openings if he tries to box for 12 rounds. So it's a hard one for Dillian. How do you approach it? It's a hard one. Yeah, exactly, John. By the way, big up to Tommy Temper. First time I've seen you in a while, bro. Hopefully you're keeping well. Hopefully you're keeping well. Big up Dell Fantasy YTBC fight. Who would you want to see fight each other? What do you mean, Tommy? Do you mean between content creators? Or just like a random fight? Because I've got a few in mind with content creators. That'd be a good idea, man. We need a fucking YTBC boxing league where we categorize it by weight classes and shit. I'll be fucking middleweight champion of a YTBC. Any middleweight out there, you're getting knocked the fuck out, bruv. Big up to J9898. Big up to you, sir. Oh, you mean content creators? Fuck me. Who would I want to see fight? Who would I want to see fight? Oh, dear. I don't know, you know. It's a tough one. I'll have to think about that. Yeah, Niall Kennedy. Yeah, he didn't train, but he didn't train because he cared about others' safety. Him and Rydell Booker, the two most unfit in recent times. Yeah, Rydell Booker against Filip Hrgovic. Yeah, he looked awful. Man. Exactly. That's what I saw, BG. I thought Povetkin looked, like you say, vulnerable. he was getting hurt a lot more. His legs didn't seem as strong as they did. Yeah, I totally agree. Totally agree. That's a good fight. See, TFL is going to bust everyone up, though, man. Who's Alfie Diaz? Let's have a look at this dude. Alfie Diaz. Or is it Diaz? Oh, is he a fucking vlogger? Yeah, he looks like a gimp, doesn't he? Yeah. He looks like a gimp. PDA versus 78 at super heavyweight. Fucking hell. Who should Michael Hunter fight next? I wouldn't mind seeing Michael Hunter fight Hrgovic, but apparently he doesn't want that fight, according to Eddie Hearn. Whether that's true or not, I don't know. But I would like to see him fight Hrgovic. That would be ideal. If not Hrgovic, maybe... I wouldn't mind seeing him fight Otto Wallin if Otto Wallin wins this weekend, to be honest. I think that'd be a decent fight. Yeah, they do, don't they? Yeah, the Boxing Voice already do a boxing tournament, Border Wars. Yeah, it's actually a really good idea, to be fair to them. It's a really good idea. That's a very good idea. Okie dokie. Let me click that quick. There we go. Boom. Oh, my StreamYard's frozen, boys. Hopefully you can still hear me. Fuck me. There we go. It's back. It's back. It's back. It's back. Did you ever watch... Sorry, did you ever watch that fight with Danny Williams and that Spanish ref? I'm not sure which fight you're referring to. No, I listen, Butterbean... No way. No elite, no top sort of 50 boxer. But no. Butterbean was basically the king of the 4-rounders against like club fighters. He would knock those dudes out, but look what happened when he fought like a 50-year-old Larry Holmes. He got his head jabbed off. Dominic Brazil's with Abel Sanchez? Jesus. Never knew that at all. Fuck me, that's crazy. So Dominic Brazil's up there in Big Bear in high altitude. Fucking hell. Neither have I, Cop End. I used to watch the Boxing Voice about, Christ, must be about 6-7 years ago now. I used to really like the Boxing Voice. I used to watch it like 2013 to 2014. That's when I used to watch Boxing Voice. I used to really like it back then. But not really my jazz now, kind of. You know what I mean? Not my thing now. But I used to really enjoy it. I've heard of him, but I've never seen him, Jay. I think Levi mentioned him earlier. Lorenzo Simpson. What do you think of Adrien Broner leaving Kevin Cunningham and training with Gerald Tucker, only 35 years old, and a former pro from Cincinnati instead? I mean, whatever Broner does now, I don't think it's going to make much difference, to be honest, Levi. I don't think it's going to make any difference. Maybe Gerald Tucker's more of a yes man, but I don't know, man. I don't think it's going to really make any difference whatsoever. But yeah, Broner's going to be Broner at the end of the day. No, not yet, bro. Not yet. Not yet. I still don't understand what folks Robert and Mikey Garcia were talking about in the Errol Spence when they took that fight against him. Yeah, I thought they just probably believed he was one-dimensional, robotic, and they could utilize that jab and outbox him, but he was too big and too strong, Errol Spence. Far too active. And Errol Spence Jr. is a better boxer than people give him credit for, in my opinion. I said that prior to that fight, that not just the size of Errol Spence is a big problem, but his boxing ability is underrated, and he'll out-jab Mikey Garcia, and that's what happens. He's underrated. Errol Spence technically. I think he's decent. Does all of the basics well, one of those sort of fighters. Doesn't do anything outstanding, but he does everything well kind of thing. And those fighters can go a long way. Yeah, Virgil Hunter, definitely kind of a one-hit wonder. Done great with Andre Ward, but apart from that, Amir Khan to me wasn't the same fighter under him. Angulo, Berto, who was the other guy? Was it Brandon Gonzalez? Yeah. Virgil Hunter was like a one-guy trainer. And both they do exist, but yeah, he definitely probably goes as overrated, to be honest. That's what I'm thinking about with Eddie Reynoso. Is Eddie Reynoso the same thing with Canelo? Or is he something a bit different? I think he's improved Ryan Garcia so far. I think Ryan Garcia's definitely improved. He's got a couple of other fighters there, Frank Sanchez, Andy Ruiz. So, be interesting. By the way, he's also got Oscar Valdez. Brazil's actually in great shape. Are you trolling BG London, or are you being serious? Because fair enough, if he is, make for a good fight. Make for a good fight, man. Okay, so Danny Williams versus Konstantin Erich. Please watch it, Del. It's the funniest fight I've ever seen. Yeah, Danilo, man. I've seen that a few times, bro. I think the commentary swayed a lot of people, quite frankly. I think the commentary kind of made people believe it was closer than it was. I thought it was like a 9-3 type of fight for Usyk. I thought that was the sort of fight it was. But yeah, there's a few people over here thought Derek did better than he actually did. The problem is, I think a lot of people were getting impressed with Derek's roughhouse tactics. But that's not necessarily conducive of scoring shots. You know, was it a hard fight for Usyk physically? Yes. Was Chisora effective in terms of landing scoring effective shots? In a lot of rounds, not really. That's how I kind of saw that fight. Broner versus O'Hara Davis would be hilarious to see. O'Hara gets stopped in embarrassing fashion again. Yeah, Broner would fuck up O'Hara. But I'd watch it for the fucking banter. I'd watch it. Out of the weekend's fights, which one are you excited most for? Definitely Kelly Avanesian. Oh, yes, I saw it, LR. I saw it. Relatively entertaining. Neither guy went over the top. Neither guy went over the top. But yeah, both guys seem confident, and they're going to go to war, man. So looking forward to it. It's a good co-main event. Julio Cesar Martinez too. Yeah. Reynoso's got some good fighters there, and I think it'd be interesting to see what he does with those guys in the next year or so. Be very interesting, because apparently from what I've heard about him, he's a real nice guy as well. Like, no bullshit kind of dude. Seems all right. So we'll see how he does. Yeah, Spence can box. He was a former Olympian, and he's one of the most fundamentally sound fighters today. His body punching is elite. That's arguably his biggest strength. Yeah, he's definitely fundamentally sound across the board. Errol Spence, decent guard, decent punch technique, good variation of shots, pretty good balance actually. I like how he parries the jab with his lead hand. He's actually got really underrated lead hand control. I think Errol Spence Jr. is a bit better than people give him credit for. Yeah, don't get me wrong. A lot of his success is down to size. He's a big dude, but he can fight a bit as well, man. He can box a bit, in my opinion. He can box a bit. Cone Gaming's got Kelly by robbery. Definitely agree. That could happen. It could happen. I've got Kelly on points, whether it's robbery or not, I'm not sure. See, I like him, BG. I like Florian Marku. To me, he's entertaining. He's a fun fighter to watch. He's a character. Yeah, I like Florian Marku, and it's going to make for an interesting fight with Ryland Charlton. So I like him. I think he's all right. Not one of my favourite fighters, don't get me wrong, but he's decent. He's funny, and he's fun to watch. So yeah, I don't mind him. Danilo, in my opinion, Chisora has the best clinch game in the heavyweight division. Usyk was struggling with the clinch early on, but as the rounds went on, Usyk was pushing him off with his shoulder. Yeah, I was surprised with that, actually. There's moments in that fight where Usyk was really kind of brushing him off. I was surprised by that. It's a good point you make there. Best defense in boxing right now? You would say Canelo? I might have to say... Do you know what? I might actually have to say Canelo. Yeah, I think I agree. Which card's going to have the biggest upset this weekend, do you reckon? I think the Matchroom card has scope for it with the main event in Kelly Avanesian. And even Jordan Gill versus Cesar Juarez. That could be an upset as well. Big up to JDav. Surely zero chance Warren puts Callum Johnson in with Yard. Johnson should have dropped his trainer manager rather than Hearn. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. But I think with Frank, he can get some good fights there. Don't forget, Frank's got a real good relationship with the WBO. Maybe he can get Callum Johnson in a position to fight for that title. I mean, I still love the idea of Callum Johnson, Joe Smith Jr., quite frankly. If Joe Smith wins that belt, Callum Johnson versus Joe Smith Jr., that'd be an amazing fight. An amazing fight. BG's on the Josh Kelly hype train. I've never really been sold on Josh Kelly. I think he's got enough where he can beat Avanesian though on points, but I've never really been sold, quite frankly. Never really been sold. What's your thoughts on Herring Frampton being cancelled and if a fight where to get rescheduled? Sorry, I'll start that again, man. What's your thoughts on Herring Frampton being cancelled and if a fight were to get rescheduled, who would you favour? Yeah, it's a bit disappointing. It looks like it's going to get rescheduled for March, by the way, in Dubai. That's what I've heard. But yeah, I would lean towards Jamel Herring still. I'm leaning towards Jamel Herring. It's a decent fight, though. Yes, big up to Johnny Boy, by the way. Every single time, bro. Hopefully you're keeping well, mate. Hopefully you're keeping well, man. Big up to Johnny Boy. Check him out, by the way. Check out his channel. Salute to Johnny Boy. Castano, Jamel Charlo, who wins? I would favour Jamel Charlo, but Castano stylistically poses a lot of problems for Charlo. Charlo's not naturally the most comfortable inside fighter. I'm not saying he can't fight on the inside. He definitely can to an extent, but not to an elite level. And Castano, to me, he's an elite level inside fighter. The danger for Castano is he's got a lot more coming back than he had against Teixeira. So once Castano crosses into mid-range against Charlo, he's in a lot of risk because Charlo's very explosive with those hooks and he's dangerous. So it's a hard fight to call. Right now, I would lean towards Charlo, but if that fight gets made and we get close to it, I might change my mind. It's a very good fight, though, stylistically. I think that'll be a barn burner. I really do. If you make Jamel Charlo fight, he'll fight, as we saw with Tony Harrison. So that's going to be a barn burner. Barn burner, bro. He'll get schooled, cop end. He'll last a few rounds, but he'll get schooled and probably get stopped late. Yeah, exactly, cop end. Billy Nelson loves to talk, so they best not duck that fight, bro. They fucking best not duck that fight. Because I want to see that still. Oh yeah, Joe Laws, man, is a fucking idiot, David. Joe Laws is a complete fucking toolbox. It's as simple as that. Gobshite. Guy's a prick, man, honestly. Nah, BG. I'm not on the Caleb Plant train either. I think he's a good, solid technical fighter. Nice jab, nice counters. You know, looks kind of flashy, but I see with Caleb Plant, I'll put it to you like this. I think it's more style than substance. I really do. And I think if he fights Benavidez, he'll get fucking chewed up and spat out. Because this is a guy, yeah, who he throws one shot at a time. He doesn't hit necessarily hard. His defense is vastly overrated. I think David Benavidez walks through him, especially when he fucking stands in that shoulder roll defense, when he's extremely flat-footed and he's popping off single shots. Benavidez is going to walk straight through that, man, honestly. Plant, he's good, but that's it. He's just good. He's a belt holder kind of thing. I think he's the weakest at 168 in terms of pure ability and talent. I really do. Yeah, I think it is a bit of a statement, Cone Gaming, because Wallin only gets stopped by the best guys. He's shown a good chin basically every other time. Even against Joshua, he lasted, what, 7 rounds? And he took a lot of shots in that fight. He's not an easy guy to stop, Dominic Brazil. So yeah, getting rid of him certainly is a good look. I've got, yeah, Josh Kelly close on points, Jamie, but it's a banana skin. He could easily lose if he gets knocked out or he loses on points. I won't be shocked. I won't be shocked. But I think the safe bet is Kelly on points. I think the safe bet's Kelly on points. This username, by the way, just fucking does me every time. Fucking hell. Ticket seller, no, ticket seller, no, not why would anybody give Joe Laws the time of day? Yeah, anyone can tell he can't fight. Yeah, exactly, bro. Would you say Smith would hit harder in light heavyweight? He does drain himself to make super middleweight. Yeah, maybe Danilo, maybe. Yeah, he can't. It can't be easy for him to make 168. He's like 6'3" for Christ's sake. Do you know what I mean? So he must be depleting himself. But I think the thing with me with Callum Smith is it just appears to me that his hunger's completely gone. Like, he won the World Boxing Super Series, earned a lot of money. Then he was basically holding around, sitting around, waiting for Canelo. He got that payday. He doesn't seem keen to really go out there, try and get these belts or unify and all this, that, and the other. Just seems content to pick up paydays now. I don't think his hunger's there. So if he moves up physically, yeah, he might be better off. But mentally, I think he's got one foot out of the door, quite frankly. I really do. I really do. Kelly relies too much on his athleticism, and he always tries to do the fancy stuff too much, kind of like a footballer that always does tricks and skills when it's not necessary or effective. Yeah, I agree, Jay. I do agree. But if he puts it together and fights behind a game plan, I think he's got the attributes to beat Avanesian, to be honest. I think he can. He needs to keep it at arm's length, keep on Avanesian turning, try and be a bit more subdued with that movement and those crazy angles. Just box a bit more. And I think he can pull it off. I agree, G-Man. Plant will get destroyed by Benavidez. Plant never impressed, and all I can see is a one-sided fight. Yeah, totally agree. Listen, man, he could prove me wrong. I've been proved wrong numerous fucking times, and it will happen numerous times more, but I just don't see anything special with Caleb Plant. Really don't. If I was training Oscar Valdez, I would say to him, do your best Alexander Povetkin impression. I would get him watching Povetkin in his prime, and that's how I would want fucking Valdez to fight. Nice and tight, nice and compact. Try and get to the mid-range kind of area, and as Berchelt's throwing his combinations, try and explode up the middle with hard counters. Valdez has a real nice overhand right, a short overhand right, and I'll try and time Berchelt in between his punches with that overhand right. Berchelt, when he kind of squares up and throws combinations, a lot of his punches are kind of wide, and he's a little languid in his body. He's open for a straight punch when he exchanges. The problem is he just overwhelms so many guys that they can't do it. But I'd have Valdez try to be like a compact, aggressive counterpuncher, basically, in that fight. That's what I'd try anyway, because I think he needs to knock out Berchelt to win. I don't think he can win on points. I don't think he can outwork him. Yeah, I don't like Charlie Edwards, bro. I don't like him at all. Getting millions for free fights, where on paper the hardest was a shot George Groves. Hungary is gone. Yeah, exactly. The hunger is gone. Yeah, I totally agree. I've got Berchelt late stoppage. Crazy. By the way, lads, if you could smash the like as well, be much appreciated. As always. Could Brazil be shot? He's had a number of hard battles. He could be Bronze Plumber. He could be. And that's the risk we take now. He's been out of the ring for a long time. He's been knocked out quite badly twice. And even in fights he won against Mansour and Izu Agono took a lot of shots. So he could be done. No doubt about it. But if he's what he was, I think he'll give Wallin a hard time. Big up to Junior, man. Hopefully you're doing well, bro. What do you think the best fight on the schedule is? Do you mean like in the next few months? If that's what you mean, I would say Roman Gonzalez versus Juan Francisco Estrada too. I think that's the best fight on the schedule. Plant and Andrade could be a fury that they need to fight a top opponent to bring out the best of themselves. You could be right, Danilo. That's possible. There are fighters definitely like that. But with Caleb Plant in particular, I just don't see it for some reason. I really don't. Yeah, so J-Dav, Cesar Juarez, yeah. If this was Juarez from a couple of years ago, I'd be saying what bet on Juarez because this is like the same guy, sorry, who gave Daenerys some real problems a few years ago. He's a Mexican pressure fighter, throws a lot of punches. He's strong, he's durable, he's tough. And we saw what happened when Jordan Gill fought that opponent last time in Tinoco. He got beat up. But the problem is, Cesar Juarez now is on a losing streak, and to me, he's looking like he's past it. So approach that fight with caution. I wouldn't be shocked at all if Cesar Juarez beat him, but I think he's long in the tooth now. But it's interesting. It's an interesting fight. It's an interesting fight. Yeah, just call it Team Stream, Darren. Call it Team Stream, bro. There's I think somebody in the chat said it's going to get shown on a website where they charge pay-per-view for it. So yeah, just just try and stream it, bro. Try and stream it. Insect Man, he says, fun fact, Dillian White's been dropped 3 times out in his last 5 fights. Yeah, he's been hurt a lot. He's been hurt a lot in his career. Joshua knocked him out. Povetkin knocked him out. Rivas dropped him. Parker dropped him. Hellenius hurt him. Derek kind of buzzed him as well, if I remember correctly. Yeah, he's been hurt a lot, bro. He's been hurt a lot. And as he gets older, his chin's not going to get any better. His chin's not going to get any better. Yeah, Copend. I remember when that guy signed with Frank Warren back in the day. And I saw a few of his fights, and yeah, he didn't look any good, quite frankly. But yeah, then he signed to Top Rank, and I've not heard from him since. So I've got no idea, bro. No idea whatsoever. Yeah, Kelly's got an athletic style. He's got good reflexes, foot speed, head movement, etc., which he can use to his advantage. But in some fights, he needs to switch it up if it's not working. Yeah, exactly. Sometimes, I think with Josh Kelly, sometimes he kind of tries to do too much to impress the fans. But, sometimes I think he needs to fall back on his boxing. He was a good amateur. He can box. He can pop the jab. Just slow it down a little bit. Go back to basics and get this win, build on it. And, it's in his capability to win this fight. I believe so. But yeah, that's a great fight, Cone Gaming. Berchelt versus Tank. I know it will never happen, but if it does, who do you got? I'd probably say Tank Davis. I mentioned earlier how I would have Valdez fight Berchelt with basically trying to pull off like a Povetkin style. I think Tank could pull off that style in the pocket with Berchelt. When Berchelt is throwing, Tank can come up through the middle with those powerful uppercuts. I could see Tank Davis knocking out Berchelt. Berchelt defensively is open. He is definitely open. So Tank's explosive enough to take advantage of that and knock him out. But, we've not seen Tank hit by a guy like that. So I'd lean towards Tank, but it's a good fight, man. It's a good fight. He did, yeah. Ricardo Mayorga used to smoke a pack a day and still had a decent career. Yeah, he did, man. Man was crazy. In post-fight interviews, he'd fucking light up a cigarette. It's crazy, man. See, we don't have characters like that anymore. Like, Mayorga was fucking amazing, in his day. Gave us some great fights for a start, but just outside the ring, the trash talk, the fucking smoking. The guy was hilarious, Ricardo Mayorga. He was funny as hell. Kelly watches The Matrix too much. Yeah, man, he does. Yeah, he smoked like a chimney, bro, nosy boy. He smoked like a chimney, Mayorga. I'm not sure, Insect Man. Like Ruiz has got a ridiculously good chin. I listen, man. I criticize sorry Andy Ruiz a lot, but one thing I can't critique is his chin. His chin is real. Andy Ruiz's chin is fucking real. Like he can take a shot, but you might be right, bro. That shot is going to knock out the majority of heavyweights. Maybe it knocks out Ruiz, but if anybody can take it, Ruiz might be one. He's got a great chin. Yeah, I wish, John. I wish, man. When he was trash talking De La Hoya, what did he say? You're gonna sing like a faggot or something like that. It's crazy. Guy was funny as hell. It's funny as hell. See, that guy would get fucking cancelled these days if he was in like boxing today. He would get cancelled ASAP. Can you imagine that guy going off on ESPN or Fox or Sky Sports? He would get fucking thrown out of the building ASAP. Christ. Yeah, I think Eddie just wants to build Buatsi. I think he's got more long-term goals in Buatsi, whereas Craig Richards really is expendable. He's not going to become a star or like be a major player. Why not roll the dice, get him a world title shot? He's going to lose, but if the miracle happens, then bingo, kind of thing. But I think they want to play. They want to play the long game with Buatsi. They want to play the long game. Andy Ruiz is buff this time. Lost all the weight for real. Okay. Is it really interesting? I'll have to see him. I'll have to find a picture soon. Hopefully Andy does take it seriously, man. I think he owes it to himself. Who knows how good this guy could be if he lost a bit of weight? Who knows? I hope he does it, man. I hope he gets in shape. Because he's a good addition to the heavyweight division, man. He's a fun fighter. You know? I've seen I see on his Instagram, he looks slimmer, but like he's wearing a shirt and shit, you know, you can kind of hide that shit sometimes. But he definitely looks slimmer from what I can see. But again, I'll wait until I see this guy on the scales. Yeah, the Vargas interactions were the best in my opinion. Yeah, all of them, man, all of them. Crazy. Okay, what fighters today or past do you think would have beaten Floyd for 2006-2009 version? So welterweight. Nobody today, quite frankly, in the welterweight division. I wouldn't take anybody. Spence, Crawford, and I wouldn't pick those guys personally. Historically, I think Tommy Hearns is all wrong for Floyd. Taller, rangier. You can get that right hand over that shoulder roll. I think Tommy Hearns would beat Floyd. Definitely, I think stylistically that's the worst fight for Floyd. Sugar Ray Leonard as well, I think would beat Floyd. Controversial, yeah, but I think Floyd would have his best chance. If we're talking about Fab Four, I think his best chance would be against Roberto Duran, to be honest. But I think Hearns definitely beats him. Leonard probably beats him, and I think his best chance stylistically is against Duran. But who knows, man? If it's Duran from the first Sugar Ray fight, then Floyd could be in trouble there as well. So I don't know really. I'm not really sure. J-Daff, man, you're too much, bro. Oh, shit. See, that's one it's a shame we never got it, man. It's a shame we never got it. I'd still go with Floyd, to be honest. I'd still go with Floyd, but could be wrong. Del, who would you put Wilder in with for his next few fights? And which fights do you think he'll actually end up having? So I think next fight it will definitely be Charles Martin, maybe the winner of Kalnaki versus Hellenius 2. I could see him having those sort of fights. But who would I put him in there with? Andy Ruiz, straight away. Fuck it. Go in there with Ruiz. It's a big fight. You know, I'm sure it's going to do well on pay-per-view in America. a lot of numbers. Why not make that fight next? Ruiz versus Wilder. And listen, man, the winner of that fight's in a real good position. They've put themselves to the back of the top of the division to an extent. So yeah, I'd make Wilder versus Ruiz. I love that fight. I'd take Gary Russell, Cone Gaming. I'll still take Gary Russell in that one. I think that was fake, BG. When Mayorga slapped Shane Mosley's wife's ass. Yeah, I think that was fake. That looked fake to me. It just looks set up, man. Her reaction wasn't genuine to me. I think it was all planned out. Yeah, listen, man. I've got certain problems with Dillian and his fanboys, but Dillian's definitely a warrior. He's definitely a real fighter when it comes down to it. Yeah, I've got no doubt about that. Johnny Fisher would beat Joshua in an arm wrestle. He's a big kid, isn't he? Fucking Johnny Fisher. He's a big kid. Interested actually to see how he looks tomorrow. See what he's got. Be very interested. Mayorga said it was fake. Yeah, it looked fake, man. I'm not surprised. Not surprised. It's hard to say, J-Dav, man. It's hard to say. It was a bad loss, man. A very bad loss. He took a lot of punishment. And like I said earlier, it's who he lost to and how. You know, losing to basically an unknown the way he did must be hard to come back from psychologically. If you lose to like a world champion or a world-class fighter, even in that fashion, you can kind of brush it aside and say, yeah, I lost, but it was against like an elite level guy. Josh got bashed up against an unknown kid. That's hard to come back from, man. So he'll do well to come back from it, put it that way. Yeah, I think that knockout was definitely suspect, Marcy D. Wilder versus Malik Scott. Yeah, definitely suspect. Definitely suspect. A gust of wind would have put fucking Malik Scott down that night. See, again, that's another fight. Wilder versus White. I'd fucking pay for it, bro. I'd pay for it. That's a knockout waiting to happen. I think Dillian gets knocked out personally, but who knows? Maybe fucking Deontay's head's in Mars still, and his head's not right. It's a good fight. Both guys can lose that. That fight definitely ends in a knockout. It definitely ends in a knockout. It's a great fight. How do you think Rakhimov does against the other champions at 130? I think Rakhimov is going to be one of those guys who's top 10, but probably won't really crack top 5 level. So at 130, you've got what? Jamel Herring, Tank, and Berchelt. I don't think he'd beat Berchelt. I think he'll get knocked out late. I think he gets knocked out against Tank. He could beat Jamel Herring, Rakhimov. He could beat Jamel Herring, in my opinion. I think he could outwork him, and I think he's actually better technically. To be honest, I think he'll beat Jamel Herring actually, Rakhimov. But yeah, he's a solid contender. That's how I would describe him. Yeah, Bec Bully's definitely very good body shot. One of my favorite prospects in boxing. See, I like sporting icons, man. He's always been cool to me. He's always been cool to me, man. Yeah, Wilder White build-up would be immense. Like all the backstory those guys have got. That'd be crazy build-up. That would do big numbers in the UK, no doubt about it. That would do big fucking numbers on pay-per-view. Because listen, yeah, Wilder looked horrible last February, and his excuses since then have been laughable. But who's not interested in seeing this guy fight again? I am. I want to see this guy back in the ring ASAP. Listen, for better or worse, one thing you can't say about Deontay Wilder is that he's not entertaining, no matter what side of the fence you're on. That's one thing you can't say about Wilder, that he's not entertaining. Because to me, he definitely is. I want to see what this guy has left. And I want to see him in there with Dillian White, Andy Ruiz. These would be great fights. Brilliant fights. Awesome fights, man. See, I love Bektemir Melikuziev body shot. But right now, I've got to go Canelo. Just too experienced. Far too experienced. Bektemir, I want to see Bektemir fight a couple of elite level guys. And then I can really make a judgment on how good he actually is. I see a lot of talent, a lot of potential. I believe he can go all the way, but I need to see it first, man. I need to see it first. But he's a good fighter, man, Beck. He's a good fighter. See, that's a good fight as well, Ian. Wilder Hrgović, fuck me. That's a good fight. When you look at the sparring footage, Hrgović was kind of busting him up. And this version of Wilder, maybe Hrgović gets to him. Definitely a better boxer. But if Wilder cracks him, fuck me, who knows what could happen. Do you know what? I think I'd sit on the fence at the minute. I'd sit on the fence. Yeah, Wilder gets hammered off White in a press conference. He's told too many lies. Yeah, Wilder would bounce back as well, though. He'd say his own shit as well. Because didn't Deontay Wilder get with his missus or something like that? that'd be a funny build-up, man. Trust me. Yeah, exactly, bro. But the press conferences would be fire, man. They would be fire. We'd be watching those press conferences, like compilations of those press conferences for years to come. Guarantee it. Guarantee it. Do you think Jamel will have a stay busy fight in between, or do you think he'll go straight to fighting Brian Castano? Well, let's be honest, yeah. That fight should happen next. It's never going to be a mega fight. It doesn't need to be marinated. They're on the same side of the street. It should happen next. But with boxing, more than likely there'll be a tune-up. But hopefully not. Hopefully not. I really like that fight, bro. I really like that fight. Interesting. Very interesting fight. I'd lean to, like I said earlier, I'd lean towards Jamel, but Brian Castano does a lot in there that will trouble Charlo on the inside. It's a good fight, man. Big up to Michael Van Gerwen. Who do you have on Maru versus Charlton? I'm kind of on the fence, mate. I'm kind of on the fence. I'll put it like this, though. If Charlton can't hurt Maru, he loses. Because Maru's a bigger, stronger dude. Charlton basically is a light welterweight. So if he can't hurt Maru, I think he loses. Yeah, Wilder will mention the D-ball. Yeah, exactly. D-ball, yeah. Indeed, he will. See, that'd be a good fight, man. Who wouldn't get fucking amped up for that fight? Wilder versus White. It'd be an amazing fight. You'll get that UK-US rivalry as well. You get the shit talk. Stylistically, it's a fun fight as well. It's a great fight. Listen, man, we all want to see Joshua Fury, right? But there are some great fights in the heavyweight division. White versus Ruiz. Ruiz Wilder. Michael Hunter versus Hrgović. There's some fucking great fights to make, man. Great fights to make. So hopefully some of these fights get fucking made. Not like I used to, Body Shot. Not like I used to. Usually what happens, Body Shot, I basically get tuned up before every Olympics. But obviously this Olympics got pushed back, so I kind of neglected it. But yeah, ask me in the summer this year. I'll do a bit more research. Big up to Rapstar Boxing Knowledge, man. Big up to Rapstar. Hopefully you're doing well, bro. Wilder would probably flatten White. He's too open with his brawls. Yeah, he could get knocked out easily. You could easily see White getting knocked out. White needs to take it to Wilder, get on the inside, get on his chest and really work that body. We saw Fury have a lot of success to that body of Wilder. He took the energy out of his legs real quick. So that'd be a good fight. It'd be a good fight, man. But I think if I had to pick anybody, if Wilder's not completely gone mentally, I'd pick Wilder. I'd pick Wilder. Who you got? Richard Comey versus Devin Haney. I know they're talking about Linares, but just for the fun fact, who do you think wins it, Comey or Haney? I would say Haney on points, Cone. Haney on points. Yeah, I totally agree, Jay. Dale, don't you think there's some similarities in between Josh Taylor and Errol Spencer in their styles? I'm not saying they fight exactly the same, but I think there's a few similarities between the two. I totally agree, Jay. I actually said this probably over a year ago, bro. I see the same thing. I see the same thing. Obviously, both southpaws, excellent body punchers, great in the pocket, physically strong. They fight a lot alike. Good balance. Yeah, they do fight a lot alike. Both have good lead hand control. Yeah, I totally agree. Chudanov versus Chilemberdale. Who wins and how? What weight class? Because if that's at 175, I think looking at how Chudanov looked in his last fight, Jim, against Umar Sadiq, sorry, I think Chilemba can win that fight on points. I really do. I think you could see an upset there, Jim. You could see an upset. I might go. Do you know what? I might go Chilemba on points in that fight. Do you know what? I'll have a look at the odds for that fight after this stream because you could make some money on that. Yeah, Joyce Joshua, interesting fight. Joyce Usyk, another great fight in that division. Yeah, for me, Josh Taylor, pound for pound, is the best in the UK. I think pound for pound, Josh is the best in the UK right now. Yeah, the trash talk for Broner versus Paulie is one of the funniest I've seen. The lead up and the press conference were probably more entertaining than the fight. Yeah, I recall that as well, Jay, because that fight happened at a particular time in my life where I've got a lot of, funnily enough, I've got a lot of stories from that part of life. But again, that's something maybe I'll talk about in the future. But yeah, that fight came at a very weird time for me. Yeah, and I remember it vividly. I really do. I actually really enjoyed the fight, actually, believe it or not. Now, AB's basically a glorified gatekeeper at this point, in my opinion. A glorified gatekeeper. I got Joe Smith on points cone, but it's a very hard fight to call. Vlasov can fight, he can box, he can brawl. He's a big dude, he's durable. He'll give Joe Smith a lot of problems. Sorry. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, Jim. Yeah, I was thinking that too. Chilemba is 3-1 just to win. Yeah, good odds. Rapstar Boxing Knowledge. He says, I spoke to Teofimo yesterday, and he said he's willing to come up in weight and face Josh Taylor. I told him I'll put money on Taylor. What you think, Teo versus Taylor? Yeah, I agree, Rapstar. I've got my money on Taylor. Just too big, too strong. I think he'll outwork Teo. Like, Teo is actually quite economical with his work. A lot of single counters, 2-3 punch combinations. He doesn't really bust a gut in there. And Taylor's the type of guy who makes you fight. If you go back and watch the Lomachenko fight, Teofimo won the early rounds. In the second half, when Loma started to turn it up, I thought there was moments when Teo kind of was gassing and second-guessing himself kind of thing. And against a bigger, stronger guy like Josh Taylor, I think that'll be his undoing down the stretch. I really do. But who knows, man? Maybe Teo with extra weight, less of a weight cut, maybe he's even more dangerous. I don't know, but I would lean towards Josh Taylor, bro, as well. Yeah, Paulie Malignaggi that day, he let down boxing BG London. He definitely did. By the way, big up to Truth Son, man. Every single time. Respect, mate. Big up to you, sir. Thank you for the support. Always goes appreciated, man. It's always appreciated. Always appreciated, man. Name some of your boxing prospects you think will win a world title. So yeah, Bektemir Melikuziev, funnily enough, is one. Hassanboy Dusmatov, another. Virgil Ortiz, Giron Ennis. I really like Israel Madrimov as well. Who else do I like? There's a lot of prospects I like, man. Trying to think of a few curveball ones. That's the main ones, I would say. Trying to think. There's a cruiserweight called Egorov, who I quite like. I think he can win a world title. There's a few guys out there. Teofimo Loma rematch, who have you got? I think Lomachenko might adjust and win it, to be honest. I think he might make adjustments and nick it on points. But it's a hard fight to call, man. It's a hard fight to call. I'd like to see it again, though. I'd still like to see it again. If Teofimo can't get Devin Haney or fucking Ryan Garcia, Tank Davis, why not fight Loma again? Why not? It'd be good. It'd be a good fight. Yeah, I like Madrimov a lot as well, man. Very good style. Very good style to watch. Yeah, Tim Zhu, another guy I'm high on. How did I forget Tim? I think he can definitely win a world title. I think he can. Bump of K, he thinks Kambosos is going to give Lopez a hard fight. Interesting. Kambosos is okay. He's not a bad fighter, just like a basic pressure fighter. He's okay, though, but I can't see it. I think he's going to walk into too many shots against Teo. I think he's going to walk into too many shots. Kavalauskas is an underrated fighter, in my opinion. Knocked out Avanesian and put up a decent fight against pound-for-pound fighter in Crawford. Yeah, he did. He actually dropped Terence Crawford. It wasn't called, but he dropped him. He dropped him, man. Kavalauskas is a solid fighter. By the way, Kavalauskas versus Josh Kelly after this fight would be amazing if Josh Kelly gets past Avanesian. That'd be a great fight. I think Cordine is a decent prospect. Darren, a decent prospect, but I can't really see him going up there and winning world titles kind of thing. He can be like a European champion or, you know, maybe fight for a world title, but can't really see him winning one anytime soon. Decent, though. Decent. Yeah, he has been quiet recently. BG. And with good reason, Ian, in my opinion. With good reason. It's just another way for the WBC to get some sanctioning fees, I guess. That's what it's all about, really, isn't it? I mean, if you look at the initial rankings, they are really, really poor. Really poor. Nobody's got any interest in it whatsoever. I wonder whether the other sanctioning bodies are going to follow suit, though, and make their own rankings. I wonder. Who knows? But hopefully not. Yeah, I think it's got some legs, Marcy. I think it's got some legs. I'd watch it again. The first fight to me was I felt TO won, but I was expecting a bit more from the fight itself, and it started to warm up towards the end. But yeah, I'd watch it again. I'd watch it again. Yeah, that's it. It's looking like Nakatani is going to be Lomachenko's next opponents. By the way, I think that's a hard fight. I think that's a hard fight for Lomachenko. Nakatani's like 6 foot at lightweight. He hits hard. He's got nice punch volume, a decent jab. I think that could be a real hard fight for Lomachenko, like a banana skin type fight. If Lomachenko's not at the races, yo, that could be a fucking hard fight. Oh yeah, Parker versus Farr. Yeah, that's next week, isn't it? Yeah. I didn't even realize Michael Van Gerwen. Didn't even realize that. Like Joseph Parker, another guy in the heavyweight division, needs to get his arse in gear, get some good fights. Parker versus fucking Chisora. Let's get it. It's a good fight. Why not? Parker's fucking around though right now. He's fucking around. Loma's got nothing on this shadow boxer on my channel. Big up to XTIC. Never seen you before, bro, so hopefully you're well, mate. Hopefully you're well. I'm back. Just had to take a few Zoom calls. Now back to getting paid to listen to Uncle Dale talk. Yeah, exactly, bro. Exactly, man. Yeah, I get sick of fucking Zoom calls, man. Absolutely sick to death of them. Christ. No, bro, I don't know him. I don't know Tiger Johnson. There's one guy, though, actually, one Olympian, one amateur fighter who I am really, really high on is the Ukrainian guy. I think he's middleweight, Kizniak. The middleweight. He's a very good talent, in my opinion. I think he's made for the professional ranks. Alexander Kizniak, yeah, that's it. Alexander Kizniak. I'm really high on that guy. I think he can be he's going to have a good Olympics, and I think he's going to make a real good pro. I really do. No, he's not. He's got a fight scheduled though, Darren, I believe. He's got a fight scheduled. Big up to Jeff Lucetta, by the way. Big up to Jeff, man. Hopefully you're keeping well, bro. Yeah, Junior Farr. I've seen a bit of Junior Farr. He's really ordinary. Sorry, really ordinary. Slow. Just yeah, not great, man. He was a good amateur. He was a good amateur, but not really impressed as a pro. I mean, he got dropped by fucking Dominic Gwynn, the corpse of Dominic Gwynn. Like my dead grandma's got more fucking movement than Dominic Gwynn these days. I mean, come on, man. Yeah, he's not great. He's not great. I don't know, Levi. Like Joseph Parker's had like 3 tune-up fights in a row now. Flores, fucking Leapai, and who's that last? Sean Del Winters. He's had a lot of tune-ups recently. So now he needs to get back in the mix. He really does. Cone Gaming saying it how it is, basically. Yeah, Far's got no chance. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, Joseph Parker, man. Joseph Parker to me has always been very frustrating. He's actually got decent talent. He's a decent boxer. He can fight a bit. He can box a bit. But for me, man, he's missing that grit, you know, that will to win kind of thing. Like the Dillian White fight to me is the perfect example. Listen, man, Dillian White did not win that fight. Joseph Parker lost it. Joseph Parker should have won that fight. He was the better boxer, as we saw in the first couple of rounds. He was outboxing Dillian. But when it came to the fight, he was found wanting, and he put his foot on the gas far too late. If Parker had dog in him, I think he would have beaten Dillian White. I really do. He threw that fight away. He threw it away. And that's the most frustrating thing with Joseph Parker. He's got ability. He's got speed. He's got relatively good power. He's got a great fucking chin. He's got a lot of attributes that heavyweights would love to have. But he's not got that fucking killer instinct and that spirit that a lot of top fighters have. And that's what's always going to hold Joseph Parker back, unfortunately. And that's a shame because I think he'd be so much more effective, you know, if he had a different mentality. But I do think he's good. I think Parker's decent. He could be a lot better though. Yeah, Rigondeaux. I heard rumors of Rigondeaux fighting John Riel Casemiro next. That's a hard fucking fight. I've really let myself down today with the old swearing, and I've been swearing a lot. Christ. Yeah, I agree, Truth Son. Yeah, enigmatic. Yeah, he just frustrates me, bro. Joseph Parker. I think he could be so much more. Like even the Joshua fight, man. He was content on surviving. Basically, just tried to sell his belt. Never really tried to go for it. There was one moment when Parker unloaded, yeah, and he caught Joshua. I think it was with an uppercut, and Joshua took a backward step, and it bent his legs a little bit. Like what? Who knows what would have happened if Parker opened up? Who knows? But he never tried it. It's frustrating. It really is. Tell me about it, John. Tell me about it, bro. Do you know what? I don't think it's the number of weight divisions per se. It's not even really the number of sanctioning bodies. I just think it's... I don't know, man. The sanctioning bodies would be okay if they showed a willingness to work with each other. So, for example, you know, like when it comes to unifications or undisputed fights, I always believe no matter which sanctioning body you're with, if you get like a chance to fight for a unified title, that should always like supersede a mandatory every single time across every sanctioning body. If they could agree upon that, that's one big thing out of the way right away. And maybe the sanctioning bodies work together where a unification fight has to be made every couple of years or so, something like that across each belt. But I don't know, man. I don't think it's number of weight classes. Maybe just internal politics, really. Just internal politics. Parker lacks the barbaric, dirty side to boxing. Indeed, yeah, he does. You can see the influence that certain fighters had on others, e.g., Floyd's style was influenced by James Toney and Roger Mayweather. Canelo is influenced by Duran, and there's other examples. Yeah, exactly, bro. I do. Yeah, I think so, BG. I think Parker should really get out of his comfort zone. Maybe train somewhere else, basically. New coach, new environment, and go from there. Some real hard sparring as well, kind of thing. Yeah, I think he should. Levi Khan, Lucas Brown versus Wardley, just for a laugh to see Lucas Brown get sparked again. John Gonzalez, been thinking who will win. Chocolatito versus Estrada. My head says Estrada, but I'll be rooting for Gonzalez. Yeah, my prediction video comes out on I think I scheduled it for Monday. So that should be up soon. But yeah, I've kind of gone out there with my prediction. Not really out there, but I guess some people would say it's out there. Parker's a joke. Yeah, he's too nice, mate. He's too nice, bro. He's too nice. Kevin Barry seems to be a really good coach to me. He probably likes a cider first thing. Like, yeah, he looks like the type, doesn't he, Kevin Barry? He looks the type. Cone Gaming, he's going to go. I'm going to Choco Estrada. Are you going to that fight? That's a great fight to go to, bro. That's a pound for pound level fight right there. But yeah, my pick has now been settled. I've done the prediction video. It's going to get uploaded on Monday, scheduled. So yeah, that should be good, man. That should be good. It's going to be a great fight. That. Yeah, Beck's left hook to the body is fucking insane, bro. It's a very good shot, extremely powerful. You can hear every single time when he lands to that body, man. Very good body puncher, Bektamir. And I love his angles with his feet, man. How he creates angles for his punches, man. It's crazy. He's got very good footwork, Melakuziev, offensively. Real good footwork. Very good fighter, Bektamir. It's March. I forget the date, mate. I'll have a look for you. Sometime in March, bro. Sometime in March. Roman Gonzalez. I used to remember all of these dates back in the day, but these days, man, no way. So yeah, March 13th. March 13th. Now listen, bro, it's okay to like fighters, man. There's nothing wrong with liking fighters. The only time it gets too crazy is when, like the Deontay Wilder fans, for example. If your guy loses, you just got to take it on the chin, unless it's like a serious robbery, of course. But yeah, it just got to be cool with it, innit? Do you know what I mean? So, but there's nothing wrong with supporting a fighter. Nothing wrong with it at all. What country is second best in terms of producing the best boxers next to America, of course? Probably Mexico, I would say. Mexico, I would say. No, I don't. BG London, Kevin. No, I don't know the story, bro. David Tuivo was a fucking gangster, man. Great chin, great chin. Damn, DLS. He says Wallin versus Brazil. I'm back in Wallin, but something tells me Brazil gets the knockout. Yes, it's listen, man. If Wallin is not as good as we think he is, he could get knocked out in that fight. Because Dominic Brazil is very durable. He's big. He's strong. He hits hard. He actually throws quite a lot of punches for a heavyweight. He could easily drown somebody late on in a fight. But I think Wallin wins on points. Marcy D, I would love to see Gerald Washington versus Price. It'll be like watching two drunks if it gets past the fourth round. Dear. This is a random fantasy fight. Michelle Soro versus Vanis Martirosyan at 154 a decade ago. Probably go Martirosyan back then. But Michel Soro's a good fighter, by the way. He's a good fighter. Based out of France. He's not a bad fighter at all. Yeah, you could be right, bro. You could be right, Levi. But listen, man, all I'm saying is with someone like Brazil, if he's back to what he was, he is one of those guys who can expose somebody if they're not good enough, like he did with Izu Agono. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, Cone. Like when I was a kid, yeah, my favorite fighter was David Hay. I'd say I was say I was a kid. I was like 16, 17. I was 17 when he lost to Vladimir Klitschko, and I was disappointed for a couple of days. But you get over it, man. Like these men are out here a year later still crying. It's crazy. It's crazy. Julius, yeah, of course, 100%, and that's how they want it. That's how they want it, bro. They would rather see me and you, or you and your neighbor, or me and my neighbor at fucking odds with each other because that keeps us distracted from the bigger picture, what's actually going on in the world. You know, we think our common man is the enemy when in reality it's them, the people above us. You know, but it is what it is, man. It is what it is. What is it? Body Shot? Is it the one you're talking on now? Body Shot. But yeah, if that's your channel, big up to Body Shot. Check him out, bro. Check him out. Brazil said he's running 6 days a week. Abel's not playing. I'll have to look him. I'll have to look him up. BG London. See what his progress is like. Martirosyan beat Lara. He would also beat Vendetti and Sorrow. Yeah, I felt Martirosyan had a very good case to beat Lara first time around. I felt Lara won the second fight though. See, guys, you should tell me this shit, man. You should always tell me this shit. Yeah, big up to Random Boxing Talk. That's Cone Gaming's channel. You should always tell me, man. I'm not shy of shouting people out. That's actually a very good point, Darren. Brazil has done one round in about 26 months, and that round he got iced. Think that will take its toll. That's a very good point, Darren. Very good point. Brazil is a football player, American, so he can talk a lot of trash, but he can't always back it up. Yeah, I think he'll give it a go, though, Levi. He'll give it a go, as we say over here. He'll give it a go. Brazil's gone down a brass ice. Big bear effect. Oh dear, dear, oh dear, oh dear. I've probably had fucking girlfriends here with smaller tits than Dominic Brazil. Sad to say. Oh dear, this fucking stream, man. See, this is why I don't get people on, man, because I know it's going to get fucking out of control, quite frankly. See, that was my original plan with the actual videos, is actually just to be like me kind of thing, how I am in real life kind of thing, and just talk a bit of shit and try and put a funny spin on stuff. But yeah, I ended up going the PC route with my videos, just because, really, just because. And I always try and talk in my videos. You guys probably notice it. I talk so fucking slow in my videos. I do it for a reason, but because, you know, sometimes like an English accent's really hard for foreigners to understand because we're not always the most clear speakers in the world. So that's why I slow it down on my videos. Exactly, bro. I mean, when you're on a night out, yeah, with your lads, and you see a fucking drunk fight outside of a kebab shop, it's fucking messy as fuck, but it's great to watch, right? So that's like a Dominic Brazil fight. Ioka's going to fight the winner of Chocolatito versus Gonzalez. Do you mean? Sorry, Chocolatito versus Estrada. Hopefully, bro. That'd be great if he does. Stop with the trolling. What are you on about, bro? Oh yeah, Ugas definitely the best Cuban right now. 100%. You're Dennis Ugas. Unia Dorticos in there with a shout as well. I'll tell you who I really like actually. David Morrell Jr. Very good prospect. He's gonna be fighting John Ryder next. If you've not seen David Morrell Jr., check him out. He's a very good prospect. Entertaining fighter. for a Cuban. He actually puts his shots together, good hand speed. You know, he's flashy in there. Seems to be a bit of a character. David Morrell Jr. I'm quite high on him. I think he's a good fighter. I really do. I think he's a good prospect. No, I've not seen it, BG, but I've heard about it. Is it the one with Piers Morgan? Like, because I can't stand that guy, bro. I really cannot stand that dude. So yeah, I might give it a miss, man, just because it's Piers Morgan. I fucking hate that guy. Honestly. Morrell will kill Ryder. Yeah, I think Morrell beats Ryder. I think he could have a few hard moments, though, but I think Morrell beats him. Probably beats him on points, I would say. Are you still setting up another channel? Yeah, I definitely am, Darren. Definitely am. So the plan for the second channel actually is something completely different. I'm looking to base it on true horror. That's all I'll say. So like true, like fucked up events, maybe some serial killer episodes. That's what I plan on doing. Something completely different. I'm super into that sort of stuff anyway. Always have been from a kid. Mate, as a kid, yeah, I was babysat on fucking Friday the 13th, Halloween and all that shit. I love horror in general. So that's the route I want to take it. I was going to do a channel where we talk about the world and everything in it. But ultimately, what's the point, man? Do I enjoy talking about it to an extent? Yeah, but at the same time, I'm going to be talking about negative stuff all the time. So it's not really conducive of like, yeah, I'd rather do something else. Big up to G-Man Boxing, by the way. Salute to you, G-Man. Big up to G-Man every single time. Thank you very much for the support. And by the way, lads, if you don't know, I'm sure you guys do know, G-Man actually has a channel himself. Very good channel. Covers a lot of aspects of the sport. Uploads extremely regularly. One of my favorite channels on YouTube. I forget how long I've been subbed to G-Man now, but a long time. Very good content. Very good content. And one of the good guys of YouTube as well. One of the people out here who isn't scared of shouting out another channel or anything like that, you know? Just wants to talk boxing. Just a good dude in general. So yeah, big up to G-Man Boxing every single time, bro. I'll take UGAS on points. UGAS on points. Yeah, man. Truth, son, I felt bad for you guys when he was in America, when he tried to lecture you guys on fucking gun control and stuff like that. The guy's a complete tool bag, honestly. He's a complete and utter scumbag. This was a guy, yeah, in the UK who hacked he hacked a dead schoolgirl's phone. The guy's a scumbag of the highest order. Honestly, just he'll do anything to get he did anything to get a story when he was working for the News of the World. Absolute scumbag. Honestly. Yeah, scumbag. Ted Bundy, yeah. Listen, man, Ted Bundy was a player. He was a serial killer, but he had fucking game, Ted Bundy. See, that guy, yeah, Ted Bundy could have been anything he wanted to be in life. But he chose to be a serial killer. Fucking weirdo, man. Weirdo. Yeah, man, I'm hoping to do it relatively soon, John. Because I moved to a different place on Monday, so that's going to be fucking hectic getting all that sorted. But once it's sorted, I should actually have some more time to myself as well, because I've got a lot of commitments right now. So once I've actually moved to a different place, I should actually have a lot more time. But yeah. I wouldn't argue with you, bro. No, I've not seen that. I've seen no, hang on. Do you mean the one with what's his face? What's the guy's name? I forgot the dude's name. You know that he's a famous actor. It was on Netflix recently, like maybe last year it was released. I forgot the dude's name. Yeah, bro, BG, yeah, BG, yeah. So I wanted to go to a place where there's less people, basically, less populated, nicer area. I'm getting less for my money in terms of actual like space and whatnot, but it's a nicer area. There's less people, more peaceful, and that's what I want right now. I'm not planning on buying anytime soon, so I can move around a few times, man. There's nothing keeping me back, so why not, man? Yeah, I'll be a couple of grand down, but fuck it, who cares, man? You only live once, man. It's all about happiness, man. Whatever can make you happier, just pursue it. And a couple of grand can come and go. Fuck it, whatever. Yeah, exactly, bruv. I need to actually come up with like a channel name for a start. That's the main thing. Channel name, artwork, and all that shit is the first port of call. Once that's sorted, we can get going basically. Yeah, Zac Efron. That's the dude. But yeah, that's the guy. Zac Efron. Zac Efron. Yeah. But yeah, lads, I'm gonna wrap this one up. Thank you guys for showing out. We actually went quite long tonight. Actually, 1 hour and 45 minutes. That's crazy for me. But yeah, I'm gonna wrap this one up. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed it. If you could smash the like as well, be much appreciated. Yeah, I'm gonna wrap this one up. Peace, guys. Have a nice weekend.